gusto lang namin, Mr. President, na ngayong alert level 1 na kakalat na talaga ng husto ang face-to-face, kung pwede na i-reduce na yung mga protocols kasi we have 2 pages of protocols na dapat susundin ng mga eskwelahan. So pwede na sigurong i-reduce yan. This Friday, mag-usap ang Department of Health at saka ang DepEd para pag-usapan kung alin ang mga protocols na pwedeng i-relax. Kasi right now, 6,000 ang nag-qualify. Pero sa tingin namin, baka dadami pa yan kasi level 1 na tayo. So yung protocols, kung kami ang matatanong, kung pwedeng i-loosen up natin yung mga requirements. Pero agreement pa rin yan dahil maliwanag yung instruction ninyo, Mr. President, na kailangan magkasundo ang Department of Health at saka ang Department of Education. So sa tingin natin, itong alert level 1 will be aligned to yung sinasabi nating impending return to normalcy sa ating ekonomiya, sa ating society, sa ating politika, dahil luluwag din ang mga requirements natin para sa edukasyon.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. As the war in Ukraine rages on, more and more nations are taking sides. But the Philippines has first chosen to remain neutral. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez tells us why.
Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana continues to draw flack for saying that the Philippines should remain neutral in the invasion of Ukraine, and that because we're not near them, we don't care about what's going on in Europe. International Studies Professor Renato De Castro called his position absurd.
Country does not exist simply on the basis of interest. Very clear sa Constitution natin that we denounce war as an instrument of national policy.
De Castro said the government can denounce Russia's actions through diplomacy and without having to directly mention the country. On the other hand, International Relations Professor Ana Malindog-Uy said the Philippines shouldn't get caught up in the politics between superpowers.
The country, again, should refuse and prevent at all costs the possibility of being a proxy or a pawn of any superpower in their proxy wars.
The war has also raised questions about the implications on Asia, given China's close ties with Russia. The worry is that Beijing can one day invade Taiwan, just as Moscow did with Ukraine.
We have to be prepared for that because China is now getting, support, from Russia. Meron siyang friend to support China on whatever actions China will take in the Taiwan Strait.
Secretary Lorenzana has also issued a new statement saying the Defense Department views the developments in Ukraine with the utmost concern. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
The Foreign Affairs Department says more than 40 Filipinos have been evacuated from Ukraine capital Kyiv to Lviv. But some Filipinos are still choosing to stay in the war-torn country. Gretchen Ho with the details.
What used to be a food storage is now a bomb shelter for 30-year-old Pinay Rhea Ramos. Together with her 7-month-old baby and husband, Ukrainian Oleg Taibov, Rhea finds refuge in her in-laws' underground cellar. They had to flee from their home in Kiev, one of the centers of the ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine.
Doon po kami nagtatago in case po na magkaroon man ng explosions or something, at least po we're protected po ba kami doon sa baba po.
Although there's an option to leave Ukraine, Rhea decided to stay, not wanting to be apart from her family.
Pwede lang po umuwi ako po kasi ako is a Filipino citizen po. Kung kasama lang po talaga yung Mr. and baby ko po, aalis po talaga kami, ma'am. Sino po namang gusto po ma-stuck sa ganitong klaseng sitwasyon po?
Rhea now longs for her family back home.
Papa, alam ko po papanood mo to, kaya mag-alala. I have second papa na alam ko po maprotektahin ako. Sa family ko po, lalo na po sa papa ko, sa mga magulang ko po, sa mga kapatid ko na sa mga nag-aalap po sa amin lagi. Okay lang po.
For now, groceries and banks are still open, and they have already stocked up on food good for a month, enough to even accommodate a fellow Pinoy, Rhea's friend Sunshine, who also has a Ukrainian partner. Like Rhea, she also worries for her newborn baby.
Kasi yung anak ko is super baby pa and she's 3 weeks old and wala siyang kamuwang-muwang. Yun lang po yung nagpapalakas sa akin na to move forward, yung husband ko at saka yung anak ko po.
Ano po mensahe niyo sa family niyo na nandito? Siyempre nag-aalala po sila eh.
We're okay. I know you keep praying us here na to keep us safe until this war will end. Yun yung po yung tatagan din yung loob niyo, mama, papa, na I am keep updating you na kung anong mangyari dito.
The government, for its part, continues to call on Filipinos who want to evacuate to call Philippine Embassy in Warsaw. But for those who need to stay in Ukraine, Rhea and Sunshine are opening their homes for other Pinoys who need shelter.
Filipino, we always will meet you with bread and food.
Gretchen Ho, We Are One News.
The Transportation Department will be fully implementing health protocols now that some areas in the country are under Alert Level 1. Speaking at the President's talk to the people that aired last night, DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade said that they will focus on increasing capacity for public transportation now that PUVs are allowed to operate at 100% capacity.
Same is scientifically based and health dictated. It is also needed to help grow the present economy. DOTR accepts and supports the mandates of the IATF in relation to the transportation in Alert Level 1.
Meanwhile, Education Secretary Leonor Briones is eyeing to reduce protocols for face-to-face classes. She added that the DepEd and Health Department will discuss relaxation of protocols later this week.
Ang level 1 at level 2 halos pareho sila. Halos pareho. So yung protocols ng level 2, pareho din sa protocols ng level 1. Ang gusto lang namin ay kung pwede na i-reduce na yung mga protocols kasi we have 2 pages of protocols na dapat susundin ng mga eskwelahan. So pwede na sigurong i-reduce yan.
Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Carl Kendrick Chua is expecting the shift to Alert Level 1 in some areas to add some 9.4 billion pesos to the economy per week. In last night's talk to the people, Chua noted that over half of the country's economy is now under Alert Level 1. Chua also said that workers will benefit the most from the easing of restrictions, as NEDA expects this to result in 170,000 less unemployed individuals by the second quarter. The NEDA chief also notes that the country's economy will gain at least 16.5 billion pesos worth of activity per week once the entire country has shifted to Alert Level 1.
9.4 billion pesos ang maidagdag sa ekonomiya natin kada linggo, of which 3 billion are salaries. So yan po yung ibabalik natin sa bulsa ng bawat Pilipino na nawalan ng trabaho o nabawasan ng kita dahil sa Alert Level 2, 3, 4, or 5 sa nakaraan.
From crossovers to repeaters, many familiar faces will join this year's Miss Universe Philippines Top 50. Among crossovers is Makati's Michelle D, who was in the top 12 of the Miss World 2019 pageant. Celeste Cortese of Pasay competed in Miss Earth 2018, where she was included in the top 10. Another crossover is Taguig's Katrina Legado, who was 5th runner-up in Reina Hispano-America 2019. Meanwhile, 4 hopefuls returned for a chance at the Miss U crown. And these are Miss Universe Philippines 2020 3rd runner-up, Pauline Amelings from Bohol, Lou Dominique Picson of Cebu Province, who also competed in 2020, Albais Julia Sobier, who last competed in the Binibining Pilipinas 2019 pageant, and Jedaina Corine Hona of Davao del Sur, who competed in Miss Universe Philippines 2021. Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Metro Manila and 38 other areas are shifting to alert level 1 starting today. Another round of oil price hikes takes effect today, and some transport groups are now appealing for a 5 peso increase in basic fare for public transportation. And presidential candidates Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and Senator Manny Pacquiao are both scheduled to campaign in Caloocan today. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 11 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.